Do you often find yourself stressed for no apparent reason? I'll be back in a moment and I'll share some thoughts on that subject with you. I've been tossing and turning like an oak leaf in a windstorm the last few nights, so I decided it was time to go for a walk in the canyon. Now, the canyon's an ancient 2-mile long riverbed trail near my home that runs between two huge lava cliffs. It's where I go to exercise and when I'm stressed and need to think. I've learned over the years that when I begin to feel stressed inside, it's time to talk to the little boy inside me, especially when I have no conscious clue where the stress is coming from. "Okay, kiddo," I said out loud. That was the term that my dad used for me when I was a child. It kind of wakes up my inner child. "Okay, kiddo, what's going on?" I looked around, of course, to make sure that I was alone first. An old man walking alone, talking to himself, can be a bit scary, to say nothing about being more than a little embarrassing. I always talk out loud when I'm talking to the child inside. Now, I can't tell you why that works, but I've learned over the years that it's better if I do. So he says to me, "You did it again." And he said it kind of smugly, a bit like a know-it-all. Then he continued in a tearful voice, "You're starting your next book and you came up with a great plan. You would research the book for 2 months, write it for 6 months, and then edit it for 2 months. And that's when I got scared." I walked for a little bit in silence, kind of intuitively knowing that he was right. The stress had begun right after making the plan. All the little boy inside could think about is, what if he couldn't do the research in 2 months? What if the whole idea of the book is dumb? What if an editor is too expensive and I can't afford one? 6 months? He felt like he'd have to write 8 hours a day for half a year. And then his feeling was, what if he missed a day? I had created an impossible goal for him, and he was scared, worried that he would fail, frightened that he wouldn't be able to meet my goals, and that would create shame for him. His anxiety and fear had reminded me that life has to be lived as a process, and I had unconsciously slipped into dualistic thinking again. I said out loud to him, "I love you and I'm sorry. You're right, and I'm sorry for scaring you." I continued to affirm him out loud that life is a process, not a series of goals, and that it's okay to set a goal. But the more I'd set a time limit on us and the expectation that the book had to be perfect, I'd cause us to slide into stressful, dualistic, good, bad, right, wrong thinking. I finished my conversation with him that morning by telling him what was important was not when the book would be finished. What was important was affirming the commitment to write the book. My new goal now is a commitment to work on the book 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, until it's finished. And if life gets in the way, which of course it will, I will simply reaffirm my commitment and get back to the work as quickly as possible. This process of talking to my little boy went on for over 4 miles, but I know that the new plan is a good one. How do I know? Because I slept like a rock last night. I love the little boy that's part of my consciousness. And when I take the time to listen to him, his insights are always helpful.